and YouTubing and
All that
kitty
stuff.
cats in the window and all is well. Here we go. How you doing, Herb? Oh, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. We should probably play some cats in the window. Some Christine McVie. Music stuff is an intro kind of thing. Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
sad.
we'll talk about it. Well, in fact, let me do some introductions, and then we'll do a couple of passings, and then we'll have some fun. And
There's 3 passings. Tell you.
yeah, well, absolutely. In fact, I also saw people following you on Twitter. You're reacting to a baseball situation yesterday too. Anyway, Pete Davis. It's only me at the camera. Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire. I assume tomorrow. Holy crap! It's sports. Yeah. Excellent. And we're at the Mechanical Mangler Flounders place, and with the El Condo Flaundo. Anyway, okay, lots of good things. Christine McVie. And by the way, she got a teeny little write-up in the paper in the Al Jazeera Constitution.
That's
I mean,
sad.
just like an inch. I mean, it was almost nothing. She was born in Britain, obviously vocal songwriter, a keyboard player with the Fleetwood Mac, classics. I mean, she. By the way, what faked me out was that she was 79.
I know. I didn't
mean,
think that.
but, wait a minute.
But then
I'm
I
thinking-
thought they were already an old group in the 70s.
I know. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And I had no. I mean, isn't that what it's like saying 1990s 30 years ago? You know, so anyway, but and of course she was. They did a lot of lineup changes in Fleetwood Mac. Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie
Well, it was
Nicks.
almost 2 different bands.
Yeah, there was a
there
blues
were.
band.
Yeah, they were
in the
English
60s.
blues
Yeah.
band in the
Yeah.
60s,
Yeah.
and then
Anyway, she was 79, a short illness of some kind, and being 79, you know, and what a shame, Christine McVie.
She, in any other band, as I said yesterday on Twitter, she'd have been the star.
Yeah.
And she was third fiddle, almost fourth behind Mick Fleetwood for the drummer people. But
Yeah,
she wrote
probably.
so many great songs,
Yeah,
and
she
she had
was
such a throaty,
well-known
deep
songwriter.
voice. And
very good harmonizer.
Yeah. And other passings.
well, Gaylord Perry, which was one of my favorite players as a kid, and John Hadle. A lot of people don't remember John Hadle.
quarterback. I remember, was it San Diego or
San Diego Chargers, and then the
Chargers?
Rams. He was bald-headed when he was like 20.
yeah, right, yeah, I do. I do
But
remember
at
that.
Kansas, there's only 3 guys that have had their jerseys retired at Kansas, and it's
Yeah.
one of them.
Wait a minute.
Kansas Jayhawks football. Come on,
I know.
the Bears.
It's not going to cut.
The-
Dick Butkus.
No,
he went to Illinois.
The Bears.
Mike Ditka.
It's the,
No.
no. It rhymes with mayors.
Vince McMahon, not Vince McMahon. Yeah, Ed McMahon.
Not the prime minister, not a mayor.
Not a king. Not a.
Oh my God.
It won't come out. I'm sorry.
Gail Sayers.
Gail Sayers. It's not coming out. And Brian Piccolo, the famous movie. I know,
Ray
sorry.
Evans, Gail Sayers, and John Hadle, the only 3 Kansas players ever had
Yeah.
the jersey retired.
Yeah, in fact, I was when I went to prep school in the same town. One of the high school kids who I knew in junior high, Bobby Pincinel was his name.
Oh, you remember his name?
I remember his name. Isn't that, yeah, how could I remember his name? 1958.
Because you remember
Jeez,
your
you got to be kidding me.
you remember your phone number.
Yeah, I do.
I do. I do, too.
404 Hillcrest 26532. And he was fast. He wasn't very, he was kind of a clunky kid, but he was really naturally well muscled. We didn't have weight rooms back then. There was no weight room training stuff. It was just either you were an athlete or you weren't, and he was built that way. He was fast as hell, and he got a scholarship to Kansas. And back then, very few people I knew got a full ride to go play football from where I come from, a little town. Anyway, and he was we were thrilled about that. And they had some pretty good teams. Occasionally, you'd fire up guys back there in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Anyway, and Gaylord Perry, didn't baseball crack down, outlawed a whole pitch because of him.
Well, it was like 40 years before, and he still did it. And I was watching an old bit of him on MLB earlier today, and he said when he first came up, he had 2 lackluster years with the San Francisco Giants in 62, 63. And he was watching, what's his face? Don Drysdale. And the players were coming back, the Giants were coming back going, yeah, he's got it on his cap today, or he's got it on his belt today. And Gaylord thought, they're worrying more about what he's got on or
Yeah.
done have on. And so he started doing it, and he said, I won the next 2 games, and that was it. And
Just
for
by pretending he
the
had
first
something?
3 years,
Going
all
to
I
his
did,
hat?
I touched my hat, I touched the side of my face, and I had him going for years. And then I started using something. He would come up,
Vaseline
he
or-
would play Pete Rose. And he'd come up to him before the game with his hand covered in Vaseline and shake his hand.
By the way, I was no great shakes as a well-known athlete, but I was a pitcher. I mean, I think I always try to keep my hands dry.
I know. In fact, that's the thing.
How-
today.
I don't know. I
The
mean,
sticky
really-
stuff now keeps your hands drier so you can
Yeah.
grip it better. But they said not only could he throw the spitter, he could throw it better than anyone because he could control it, and nobody else really could.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how I couldn't stand if I was
I know.
sweating and
It drive me
I sweat
crazy.
naturally a lot, and I went through about 4 of the damn rosin bags.
It was Orlando Cepeda or something said. I think it was him that was saying in his thick accent that he
Gesundheit Flounder, my
Gesundheit.
God, man.
That he knew something was up because they were throwing the ball around the infield and it got to him at first base, and he threw it from first base to the mound, and it moved.
There was a rainbow on it. At shortstop. It's in my eyes.
And they only called him once.
Yeah.
They only called him
I'll
once.
be damned. And he, how old was he?
Oh, God.
He was up there, right?
He was born
he'd
in
be
38.
80s. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
72 or 4 or 81.
80s.
I just throwing them out.
Okay, 38. Let's do this.
48,
62,
58, 68, 78,
62,
88, 98,
82,
that's
84.
70.
84.
There you are.
Do we have to look forward to this?
Where's my abacus?
When-
I could do an abacus one,
Yeah, I
at one
bet
time.
you could.
My
I bet you
father
could.
had
I
one.
bet was it Confucius taught you? You're probably in his
I
class.
had an abacus.
Lao Tzu or
My
something.
father taught me. My father was a genius, so he knew all that. So my father could multiply rows of numbers in his head. I mean, it's the damnedest
I
thing
know
you
my
ever
dad
saw.
did.
Anyway, a couple things. We're going to move along
Sure we
today
are.
because Flounder has an important meeting in about an hour and a half, so we're going to endeavor to get out by then. A couple of Christmas cards, and I'll leave this here to post if we want. This is a very nice Christmas card, and it says "Merriest Christmas." Actually, the word Christmas, and it's from Don and Carolyn, and they are in Dahlonega.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to go up to Dahlonega because they have a great Christmas thing up
I'll
there.
bet they do. In fact, God, I haven't been to Dahlonega. I'll bet you in.
Go and just
25
walk
years.
around the square because it's
I
beautiful.
used to just
Christmas.
park. Yeah, that's what you do. You go up there and park, and then there you go. And between they had rock mineral shops or something, or I mean just
You
little
could gold
gift
mine- you
shops
could
and-
gold
yeah
pan.
And what's a little town known for its something famous on the way up there? Too?
Apples,
Rock,
LJ.
No,
Oh,
not
you're thinking
LJ.
about Ball Ground,
yeah, ball ground.
the rock shop, which I don't know if the rock shop's
Yeah,
there anymore.
I don't. God, it's been so long.
It was great
Back
rocks.
before I had my horse, I used to ride my Harleys up every week and just go playing.
Well,
Anyway,
Ball Ground we used to think was near Tennessee, and now it's a suburb.
yeah, that's right. That's
scary.
right. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Dan and Carolyn. And I'll leave that there for you there. We'll leave with our list. Also, our friend Denise, she is trying to single-handedly support our podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I swear to God, I wrote out another thank you card today, and I think there's like 4 of them in the ether sphere trying to get to her address at the same time. But look how beautiful this card. It was a Thanksgiving card. Give thanks and blessings and gifts of family and friends. Bless our lives. Eat happy Thanksgiving. God bless to Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and the kitty, and so forth. From our friend Denise. And it's a beautiful card, so I'll leave that here too. We
That
can
is
post
very
it
nice.
up if
Oh,
we
let me
want
look
to.
at these.
And she also sent a very, very nice letter and how much she loves the horse videos and the show and. Anyway, she's a treasure. She is really a special
You
lady.
just set off Alexa, by the way.
What did I say, Alexa?
She goes, I don't know that or something.
Oh, sorry, Alexa.
Alexa, good morning.
Oh, anyway, a couple things. Let's see, to get a point. Bing, boom. Oh, I put some pictures on. I'm going to talk about the stitches in my head here in a minute. I put
Alexa, shut.
Did I? Was she
No, I
reply to
turned
me
her
again?
on.
Okay. Picture. I put pictures on Facebook this morning because last night I get a couple of pictures from my little friend Gretchen. Now, Gretchen and her late husband were very close friends, lifelong friends of John and Cher, who were friends of mine through playing golf with John at Brookfield Country Club, and that's how I met Gretchen, and so that's how I kind of met this whole inner circle thing. And so Gretchen texted me, or sent me pictures last night. She said she opened her front door to do something, maybe turn on her Christmas lights or something, and a bird flew in her house.
I hate that.
And she sent pictures to me. I put them on Facebook, on the Patcho Facebook page. The bird was perched on top of a ledge, and then he disappeared, and then he showed up again, perched on top of another, counter or top or something or other. And she opened the front door, and hoping he'd go out, and he saw the front door, and then she tried to go get something to chase him out with or whatever, and he disappeared. She said, well, he's gone. This morning she wakes up, the bird's still in the house, and he's been pooping everywhere. He's been pooping everywhere. So finally, she shooed him out onto the porch. She has a screened-in porch, and she shoot him out into the back porch and opened the back door, and he's still in the back porch. He won't leave.
What's cold?
But it can't be any warmer in the screened-in porch than it is out a foot outside. Anyway, he won't
There's predators
leave.
out there.
And she maybe saw a coyote or something. It's such a damnedest thing. I don't know.
I don't think birds are afraid of coyotes.
Anyways, and I put the pictures on Facebook. Now, what would you do?
You leave the doors open, and you don't let it go any further in the house. And at some point, you gotta take a blanket and walk around,
a
and
towel
make
or
it go.
a sheet or something.
But it could be
and
worse.
Scare it. Yeah.
It could be a bat.
Could be a bat. And you may know and never get that together. That was pretty cool. Okay, I will also. Let's see. Today's as we speak. Today's Thursday, which is unusual and we took it off because of. Oh, how was Thanksgiving?
You had dentist.
I'll talk about that in a second. But did you ever finally have your family thing?
No, never heard from them.
Oh my God! Did they just cancel it?
I don't know.
Oh my God! They left you
Probably
out entirely.
not.
Oh
They
my
probably
God!
just didn't come.
Oh Jesus! Well, anyway, I had surgery, but I'll talk about that in a second. But first,
I need a new family. I pissed this one off.
Okay, I have another failed flirting experience. Okay, I'm in Publix. And as I recall, I'm wearing my Marine Corps hat and my leather flight jacket that's 80-year-old World War II flight jacket with all the patches on and stuff. So I'm looking kind of like a military. I got my jeans and cowboy boots, stuff like that. So I'm in line at Publix, and in my bag, this is to get ready. I think it was right before, was it before my surgery? Yeah, it might be before my surgery. I was getting ready for it afterwards. So I wanted to buy. I tell you what I wanted to do. I had some soft food like eggs and things like tuna fish, stuff like that. But I wanted to get some ice cream, make a milkshake because I thought that might be good. So I went to the store and I bought some ice cream, plain ice cream, and also I saw, oh my God, malted milk ice cream from this other company that I don't normally get, which is really good. So I got that too. So I got two kinds of ice cream, and I got some chocolate syrup and strawberry syrup, stuff like that. We're having a stare down with a cat. This is funny.
He doesn't
He's
blink.
doing it.
He doesn't blink.
He doesn't blink. Anyway, so I bought the ice cream, and I had some chocolate syrup, and I think I bought some like soft candy just to get ready for whatever. Okay, behind me in the tenderless aisle line comes this probably 30-year-old Hispanic-looking, really cute lady, and she's really cute. 30-ish.
¿Cuántos años tú?
And she's very cute, and she's kind of smiling. And so I got my stuff in my bag, or in my basket, and she's got everything in her basket is broccoli, celery, carrots, pasta, I mean, it's something.
Frijoles.
And her basket is right next to mine, so I couldn't help just laughing, look at mine, ice cream and candy, and she's got vegetables, flour-free pasta or some I don't know, whatever. And so I start laughing, and I said, well, I guess that figures. Look at all my ice cream and candy, and you actually look like you eat healthy or something. And she kind of laughed, and then she looked at my stuff, and she said, I would kind of laugh for a second, and then she said, "Oh, what's that?" I said, "Mocha, malt. Chocolate malt ice cream." And she said, "Oh, I've always wanted to try that." And I froze.
Yeah, you always do. I've seen you in action or non-action.
I totally got out of my. I mean, I had it right there. You know, I had, well, no, I didn't have anything right, but I had the next step. And I was, my theory has always been, if you can get, especially if you're meeting somebody new, and it's totally, the best kind are totally spontaneous.
Yes, yes.
And if you can get her laughing, and all of a sudden she immediately was saying, well, this guy's probably not, you know, gonna hurt me or whatever. Just on general principle, make them laugh and put them at ease, things like that. Just you're, you know, just a guy. And then the next step is to kind of, oh, well, you know, here, you take it, and I'll get another one. And say, oh, no. So, well, then you can always come to my, you know, whatever. I mean, you could always figure out the next step and then the next step or whatever to get her to actually talk to you. And I totally, I froze and blocked it. And I just said something else about, oh, it's a story of my life. I guess not through or whatever. And I paid for my thing and tipped my cap to her and walked off. but I got to thinking, you know, and plus, that's, you know, that to me, that's like dating. That was like, and I'm still thinking about it. So it was like a whole experience of, hey, I talked to a girl.
Ladies.
Hey, Pete, I talked to a girl.
Ladies, if you want to hit on the Kimmer, you're basically going to have to get out of your car or what, walk up to him and cup his cojones in order to get the message through.
I swear to God, I totally blew it. Not that, I mean, it was, I'm sure it would, who knows?
I mean, come on.
I know. She could have been my granddaughter. I don't know. But anyway, it was kind of funny. I've always wanted to try that. I mean, it was like, you know, I mean, it was like, ooh, I've always wanted to try that. It was pretty friendly. Anyway, whatever. Now, what did you just remind me of? I'm going. In fact, I'm going to tell this story. I got to talk about my teeth because the thing would happen, and plus I got to get it off my chest. This is Thursday. Tuesday, I can feel the stitches.
Atlanta's tooth, or as I said, Kimmer's tooth story brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net, 404-255-0589. That's Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net. You can put a lot of teeth in a closet. And you know what? It's a great Christmas gift for the ladies.
It's a wonderful Christmas gift. She will love it.
Yes.
Promise you she will love it. Okay. As I told you before, I had a toothache that they were going to take care of last week, a late appointment at 5 o'clock in the afternoon because I've had a toothache for several days. This was a week ago Tuesday, 10 days ago. And so, and then they called, had to cancel because the doctor had an emergency that he had to go take care of. And I said, okay. And the next appointment available was this past Tuesday. So I had a whole week of this horrible tooth pain. And finally I went into it. Okay. The guy said, well, we got two things going on here. I'd totally forgotten about this. I had a 3-tooth bridge all connected together up in that upper left side, the exact same opposite side from where I had my dental implants. That's 8 months ago. Anyway, so I had a 3-thing bridge, and that was gone bad. And as you get older, you know, I talked to the guy. I said, it's just, you know, when you have an old car, it breaks down, you have to keep it getting repaired, and that's what's going on with your teeth. So he said, well, it's got to come out. We got to get rid of that. So I said, oh God. So Tuesday, he sawed the bridge in like parts. Okay, that was my day Tuesday. Wednesday, I go to the actual oral surgeon. The same, a different doctor, but the same company that did my implants. Go to the oral surgeon, and he, with his team, has to cut out the entire bridge to make just another big hole up there temporarily. Which is, you know, fine. Oh, by the way, when I was talking to you about I was going to do this, you mentioned taking Oragel. Yeah. And I did buy some, and actually I did before I was trying to, you know, numb the pain for the week of 10 days I had to wait. But anyway, so and when you put it on, it does numb up immediately. I mean, almost immediately.
It numbs your fingers.
And it doesn't last a real long time, but it does work. It does numb. So that was I thought that was interesting, helpful, and it did actually work. Anyway. So the Tuesday, the dentist sawed off and cut. By the way, the noise of those machines in a dentist's office. Oh, jeez. You'd think that, how is it possible that they can't put everything made of like freaking silicone or something so it just, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't get it.
Whoever invents a quiet drill is going to be a billionaire. A billionaire.
Like
Anyway.
the person who invents a silent fucking blower.
Yeah. Oh, leaf blowers. Oh. And they always come up in the morning. Anyway, so now on Wednesday, the oral surgeon, man, that bridge was in there. And, oh, by the way, you have to get all, to numb
Let's
it
don't
up.
get so graphic.
I know. Well, anyway, but it was. I mean, he had to work on it. It was a problem. Thank God. And one of his assistants was this young, very attractive young blonde woman, probably late 20s or something. Very personable, sweet as heck, cute. I mean, just a wonderful girl. And she was his assistant, and so she was doing all the stuff with it. She was the number one assistant to the surgeon. And so she's obviously a highly educated, qualified, medical person. And at some point when they were doing something, my eyebrow, I had kind of a block in my mouth to keep my mouth open. And at some point, my eyebrows kind of went like that, like I was, because he did a thing up there that really got me. And so, and all of a sudden she starts rubbing my shoulder.
Oh, here we go.
And I know, let me,
go.
no, I swear to God, I'm in the thing, and she's rubbing my shoulder. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that's one of the sweetest things I've ever had happen to me. I mean,
Dear Penthouse, I never thought this could happen to me.
And it was so sweet. It was, I mean, I'm getting all tingly. I mean, it was, I couldn't believe it. She was just so freaking sweet, rubbing my shoulder. And after it was all over, I told her, I said, by the way, that was really so
That
sweet
did it
when you
for
rubbed
me,
my
baby.
shoulder. Oh my God. And then I realized, see, the funny thing, and again, I would gladly admit to you, I'm an old guy. I mean, I'm an old man. I'm a very senior citizen. But in my head, I'm not. I'm just still me. Yeah. And so I started laughing because, 30 years ago, I just said, boy, does that feel good. Or, I would have done a thing. Yeah. So I started laughing at myself. And when I was laughing, when I told her, I said, boy, that really, that gave me a little tingle. That was really so very, very sweet. And it's because I'm an old man. She thought they'd hurt me. I mean, really. And so now I feel pathetic. I mean, you listen to the last 7 minutes, I go from thinking I could actually pick up a 28-year-old Hispanic chick at the Publix in the checkout line to having a hot little blonde medical assistant rubbing my shoulder, going up and down, and whether I'm still a man or not. I mean, this is unbelievable.
We have a couple lady listeners want to weigh in on your obvious, delirium. Sophia says that girl wasn't hitting on you. She was just being nice. And Cindy said, dream, 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 dream.
That was my favorite song by the Everly Brothers in 1958.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band does a great version,
It was number
too.
one in the charts for 15 weeks. Thank you very much.
song.
Anyway. Oh, my God. And so now I actually, I'll mention one quick thing, just because this is what you may be going through, too, at some point. At the moment, I have stitches, and I have to do a mouthwash with antiseptic, whatever. Anyway, so I can still feel it, and I'm taking pills, and it's kind of numbing. What's the matter?
No.
Okay. But that's not. So I have a hole up there. I have a couple of teeth, and then a part of a bridge. So anyway, so now the question is, what do I do about it?
Wad of gum.
Well, I've got to wait at least 2, maybe 3 months before I can do anything. It has to heal. Yeah. Remember when I had my implants? Okay. Now, here's the thing. The guy, they both said, well, you got 1 of 3 that you can do nothing and just have. Now, as I've talked to you, have you noticed anything specific about my mouth? No. If I were to open real wide, you'd see. Okay. No. But again, I mean, it's possible. I mean, if I
don't want to see your gaping maw.
But again, I can't do anything for at least 2 months. So in that 2 months, I may decide this doesn't bother me, and if nobody notices it, what the hell? My
entire life, I knew my grandfather with no teeth. He even ate with no teeth.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that. But anyway, my one option is to do nothing and just if it doesn't really show, then see whether you can live with it. But that's probably not going to be my final choice. The other thing is to go do the dental implants like I did this time. The problem with that is I have to wait 3 months before it heals. Then if I do the implants, I have to get the screws in and then wait another 3 months to get the teeth in. So that's another 6 months for going. I don't think so. Anyway,
But
so
the way the years
other
are
one-
passing so quickly for you now.
and the last thing is, and I'll stop talking about this. Last thing is one of those bridges that snaps in. It's actually a thing, and it's teeth, and it's like a crown or
Most
a thing.
people do that.
Yeah, that's what I would.
That's very
That's
common.
what I would do.
And I'd probably do something like that. But again, yesterday was $2,000, and my Humana insurance company paid $200 of it. Oh, that was
Wow, wonderful.
$200. And can I tell a quick Humana story? And again, it's sort of a cliche.
Sure,
but-
we've almost killed this first half hour of just the hour and a half we have. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, honestly, this is kind of astounding. The dentist said I have one other tooth that's got a problem, and they think that if they gave me a root canal, they could save the tooth. The problem is they need a specialist to see whether they can have a root canal that'll save the tooth. So I have to go to an endodontist, they call it. Okay. In my Humana plan, the dentist recommended an endodontist to me. I called their office. They're not in my Humana plan.
Yeah.
I said, well, how much would it be if I want to just go there? She said, well, to show up and have him look at your mouth is $600. And if he actually does the root canal and has to do a thing there, it's going to be about another $4,000. I said, that's great. So after I just whopped another $2,000 and the $20,000 for the implants. Anyway, so I said, well, I may have to call you back on that one. so I said, okay, so now, okay, my choices are to call Humana and ask them to send me a list of doctors in their plan in my area, right? Of special.
Probably on the internet. They'll probably tell you to look it up.
Well, yeah, but if I look it up, I'd have to look up something that's specifically in my plan, and the internet may not know that unless I go through a Humana thing. So anyway, so I called Humana. They said, okay, here's what we'll send you a list. And I said, now, when you send me this list, are you going to email it to me and I can just open it up? She said, yes. I said, okay, that's great. So, before that, again, I know this is a cliche, and I don't mean to be in any way disrespectful, but I'm not making this up. When I finally got through, the phone rang, and I finally got through to a person. It was a woman, and I promise you, she could barely speak English, and she was either from Vietnam, because it was very, hello, Mita Pitatan. Mita Pitatan, yes, my name is Mita Pitatan. I honestly, I could barely, and I kept saying, I'm sorry, I can't understand you. And it wasn't my hearing. I mean, it was because she couldn't speak. And finally, I said, I told her what I wanted. She says, delete 14 for the mail. And I said, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, and finally I hung up. I said, I can't understand you. I'm sorry. And I hung up. I called back, waited again, finally got another person, another woman. I swear to God, exact same thing, different person, exact same thing. And she said, okay, she's going to send me the thing. And I said, okay. And I said, now, when you send it to me, can I just open it up? And she said, I don't have to do anything. She said, no, just open it up. It's right there. Okay. So and again, I could barely understand her.
Yes.
And at that call, when they asked me on the computer line, would you like to stay afterward to take a survey? I said yes, because I wanted to tell them I can't understand your people. Two in a row now, I can't understand them. So I said yes to that. Okay, hung up. I looked at my email, and it was a following email from Humana, and you have to get an Adobe Acrobat file download. And I'm going, oh, God, here we go again.
No.
I said, I asked you specifically if I can just open the thing.
Well, she assumed you had Adobe Acrobat.
Oh, God. So I tried to sign up for it.
Oh, boy.
And it didn't work. Nope. And I tried to sign up again, and it looked like it did work. And I called back a third time, and I told the lady, I don't think this is opening. But anyway, the third lady was so, and again, she was Asian, and I couldn't I kept saying, if I had a record button that I could record while I'm talking, I would have done it. And maybe there's in there, I don't know,
illegal,
but I couldn't.
I think,
Probably illegal in this state. I don't know what Georgia rules are about recording
I think you
somebody
have.
out of state.
I think you have to. Don't you have to
I think you
ask?
just have to have one. You may only have
maybe
to have
one.
one.
I don't know.
Anyway, but she was. I couldn't understand, but she spent time with me. She was very sweet, and she actually took my phone number and she said, "I'm gonna. If we get disconnected when you're trying to do the thing, I will call you back." She was really, really sweet, and I hung up. And then finally, an unknown number called, and I wondered whether that was the research people to call back for the survey, and I answered it, and in fact, it was. The problem was, it was one of those, hello. On a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your? And I'm going, that's not going to do anything. That's not what I want. I want you to know that the one lady was so freaking helpful, but I couldn't understand any of them.
You wanna
I
know-
got 3 in a row.
You want to know how big a joke this has become?
No.
I have a British friend.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Sorry. No, I do.
You notice I didn't even pay attention to your answer. I just kept going.
You gave me a chance.
Is that not telling? Or what? I didn't even listen to your answer. I got a British friend who lives in Britain, and she says every time she calls America to deal with a product issue,
Yeah.
the person doesn't speak English.
Funny. By the way, I'm so sorry. About my little friend Gretchen with a bird in the house. I think she's at work now. I don't know whether the bird's still there or not, or whether he left her deck.
Oh, this was Gretchen?
Yeah, my little friend Gretchen.
Why didn't you go help her?
Well, I offered to, but her next door neighbor. Well, first of all, I was rinsing the stitches in my head and not really in a position with the agony to be able to go hopping in there. But her next, but John was something I mentioned. You weren't listening. You were playing with a cat before. I mentioned John and Cher. We used to play golf with them.
I remember that.
They live right next door. I mean, like down the street. So she had somebody who could have helped her if she needed to. But anyway, a couple people reacted about the bird in the house. Danny said, "I've always heard someone was about to die if a bird gets inside your house."
Damn.
Danny. Or Robert, however, said, "Some people believe that if they are visited by a bird, it's a lost loved one stopping by to let you know that they're okay and not to be sad. If you do believe this, maybe it's Jack the Good Boy stopping by." Well, of course, it wasn't my place, but he could have stopped by to Gretchen to say, "Hey, tell the camera I'm okay." I mean, it's possible.
That's a stretch.
It's just kind of a stretch. Okay. Sorry.
Maybe the bird got the wrong house.
It could have had the wrong place entirely. Anyways, all right. So we were done that. Bing, boom, and a bomb. All right.
Have you ever heard the thing? And I think it's, I don't know if it's Celtic or Scottish or what. And some people in America still do it. That when somebody dies in the family, you tell the bees.
The bees.
Especially if you keep bees.
You go looking for.
You go and you tell the bees that someone has died.
And why? And what, they
It's just
spread
a
the
thing to
word
do.
kind of
I
deal.
guess
but
it's something to do. You would tell. I think it's an Irish
because
thing.
they
You tell the
pollinate a
bees.
new life kind of thing or something. I wonder
don't
what the hell would bees have to do with it?
I don't know. Do they feel sorry for you? Don't sting you or something? I don't know.
I don't. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. I don't know.
Wow, I don't know. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, we got so many kind of newsy things here. First of all, the freaking Republican Party. Here we go again, and the Democrats are going to get away with this once again. The House votes to pass the forcing the railroad industry to take the union situation, which they don't want to do. And it's Democrats butting their nose in. Republicans are helping them because Republicans, if they vote no, will get blamed for having a rail strike and cutting off everybody's supplies for another year.
No, they won't because the Democrats are in charge.
Well, the Senate could vote no. They had like 12 Republicans or 15 Republicans voting for it. Same thing's going to happen in the Senate. I'm telling you, Republicans should not cooperate with anything.
Here's what they should be doing. Hey, you union people who have been voting Democrat your whole life, guess what they did?
Yeah.
They just basically took away your rights to strike.
Exactly. That's
And
exactly what they did.
All of the crew, except Tlaib, voted for it.
All right.
She was the only one who stuck to her principles.
And a bunch of Republicans joined in.
So Democrats just took away your union
That's
rights.
Right. That's right. And I won't even, my union stories. But again, and by the way, did you hear about Biden's supply chain criticism? Speaking of the supply chain or the possible railroad strike, which if the Senate passes, and it will because they're controlling everything. But again, the GOP, I'm just so against this. Now, President Stupid is once again blaming the public and complaining that everybody's getting all worked up about nothing for this whole supply chain business. President Showerswood's daughter was in Michigan when he said, Americans don't even know what a supply chain is and never knew what it was until it became a media topic related to...
Bullshit.
Well, here's the reaction to... He said, 10 years ago, how many of you were even knew that there was anything even called a supply chain? He said, if we were all going out... This is what he asked the question. If we were all going out and having lunch together, and I said, let's ask whoever's in the next table, no matter what restaurant we're in, have them explain the supply chain to us, do you think they'd understand what we're talking about? I swear to God,
I had a friend
that was his example.
I have a friend that used to meet at Manuals, and he was in supply chain, setting him up and everything. And we talk about it all the time.
Plus, who doesn't, by definition, you know what it is, the chain of gets supplies to the.
If you have a trucker in the family, you know.
Everything in your house, everything on your body, all your clothes, everything you see, everything you drive, and everything you watch going down the street at some point came there by a truck.
Yep. Supply chain.
Everything at some point came by a truck.
Everybody who does business knows a supply chain and what it is.
Anyway, but here's some of the reaction to it. He was criticized, of course, for mocking how stupid Americans are. Brad Ziegler, former Major League pitcher, said, "We're all morons, right, POTUS? No one ever had business class in middle school." Another one said, "Hey, dude who cannot ride a bike successfully thinks full-on adults don't understand how the grocery stores get restocked. Talk about elitist thinking." Yeah? I mean, think about it. Where do you think all those boxes of Tide come from? Oh, all those cereal. Where the hell did they get there all of a sudden? Parachutes? A representative just elected from Michigan. Me, I did, and so did all the other auto workers in my district who have watched their jobs sent to Mexico and China because of this anti-business lib policies. Influencers. Biden just told union workers that 10 years ago they didn't even know what the supply chain was. Instead of insulting Americans, why doesn't Biden apologize to them and ruining their economy and then resign? And then they got to hear about the lobster dinner business. I mean, talk about elitist thinking. Even Democrats are criticizing President Crime Family for his pompous White House celebration with 200 live lobsters served for guests tonight as we speak for a state dinner for French President Emmanuel Macron. Guests are expected to enjoy lobster and caviar, and a congressman from Maine, a Democrat, urged Biden to meet with a lobsterman in his administration currently regulating out of business. He says, while running for president, President Showers with daughter pledged, "I will work to protect the livelihood and safety of the fishing community," in reference to the lobsterman. He has yet to take a single action to make good on anything involving that pledge. Entanglement of right whales is one of the biggest issues. Yeah. There are only 340 of those whales left in the world, they say.
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty scary.
When the Pilgrims landed, that's all they saw.
There were millions.
They're in Cape Cod.
Yeah,
that's all they saw.
All the boat, between every boat there were.
The Indians used to live off of them. Yeah.
Now Whole Foods is no longer carrying Maine lobsters because of the netting of the whales and the issue for it. And of course, Maine politicians are going nuts over that because that's a millions and millions of dollars in a supply chain
stuff, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
Harbor.
Lobster. Now, do you like lobster?
That's one of the few seafoods I do kind of like. Lobster rolls, man.
Yeah. Now, if you get lobster tail, getting the lobster claws is fun for a few minutes, and then after a while, you don't really want to. Now, the big, the great big ones, or even the what do you call the king crab claws. I mean, it's okay the first couple of things, and then I don't need to.
Too much.
But if you get a lobster tail, the only problem with lobster tails is they can be really tough. The best lobster experience I ever had was when my final wife and I took a vacation up in Maine to see some friends. We were in their wedding, in fact. Anyway, I saw some friends up in Maine, which is a beautiful place to go in the summertime for a week. I mean, you can't go in the water. You can't go swimming.
No, it's 40
I tried. I got up to above my knee,
yeah.
And I said, I'm now passing out. I can't feel anything.
And that was July.
My heart's going. Yeah, it was literally July. It was the July 4th holiday. I think. Anyway, so we went on a boat, and as we were coming back, we were on this came around the bend to get ready to go dock, and there was a guy on the dock there who had just caught a bunch of rock lobsters. Rock lobsters are about this big, and they're so tender. Those were unbelievable.
All the seafood in Bar Harbor was just, you can see it. They take it off the boat, they bring it in the restaurant, they kill it, then they give it to you.
I did that when I was in San Francisco. And I dated. I picked up a woman on a story I was doing. That's to see. I used to be able to do that. I was doing a story on a woman and her girlfriend coming back from a trip, and they were involved in some kind of protest or something. And I interviewed her, and we kind of started talking with her. And she gave me her phone number, and I called her. Went out on a date. And before I picked her up, I stopped at the wharf in San Francisco, and I bought about a 15 or 20 pound salmon. right there from the guy's boat. He just pulled in, and I bought that and brought it to her at her to her house.
There's so many jokes that you've put on a tee there, and I ain't
Anyway.
gonna touch it. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
Luis just chimed in and says, "Damn, how much did I miss?" And Cindy goes, "Just Kimmer's mouth and love missed stories."
Cindy with a Y.
And Luis
Let me guess.
said, "Ah, the norm."
You bastard.
And then he admitted,
It's free, you know.
"I got y'all streaming on my 55-inch TV. My wife is hating me."
Send her over here. I'll finish the deal. She'll be packed up and gone before 5. Pretty funny. Anyway, I'm thinking about trying to. I just realized today's the 1st of December, so we got 5 more days to vote.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it
I
tomorrow.
keep thinking, early voting is for a couple of weeks. It's 5 more days, and that's it.
Was it Tuesday's the election?
Yeah.
Wow, that's quick.
And I don't think that is this Saturday still available. I don't
Yes.
even know. I think it
Yes.
is. Okay, so you got a few days, but I'm going to try to go today. And of course, it figures record turnout once again. Georgia, which of course has kept all you black people from voting. Once again, record turnouts. Setting a record in one day for early first day voting. Another record.
Where's our All-Star game, bastard? Where's the All-Star game?
I mean, it's just.
Where's an apology?
It's so freaking offensive. It's so freaking offensive.
Biden needs to apologize for that Jim Crow crap.
Oh yeah, like anybody's going to do any, and they're still saying it.
Oh,
they're
hell
still,
yeah,
still
they're still
claiming
saying
it. And
Which
in
is
fact-
fine. If they think we're a bunch of racist assholes, great. They won't move
At
here.
least we- yeah.
Stay the fuck away.
Hopefully. Now there's some talk now that this runoff will cost us at least $10 million just in the Atlanta area because Georgia counties have to pay for funding the runoff elections. Your taxes go to the county, which oversees runoff elections. So we're paying for the runoff elections, and they're saying it'll cost taxpayers for the Senate runoff $10 million. Georgia, and I can't believe this, Georgia is only one of only 2 states, along with Louisiana, that require a runoff after a general election when no candidate gets more than 50% of the vote. Mississippi's going to do that too, but most states, it's whoever gets the most votes, not whoever gets
See,
over 50%.
But see, I agree. I think you should get at least half the populace behind you before you can get it there and make laws. I don't like this 46% getting in there. I'm sorry.
Well, again, but if you're, then why would we not have popular vote for president?
Well, you
If
know
we got
why.
More than, right, exactly. But
Because
again,
we'd have New York and L.A. and Chicago
right,
deciding
would
who's the
determine
name.
it. California, New York, and Chicago, Illinois, and maybe Florida, but not anymore. Anyway, so the thought is to get rid of it, to get rid of the runoffs, and go back to the other states thing. Anyway, they're talking about it.
No, I don't like that. That's how
Yeah.
that's how Bill Clinton got in office. Because
yeah,
Perot
yeah.
took away the votes.
Yeah. And one more quick thing here. Speaking of population and culture, it's.
I got a plan right here. I'm going to put my plan together.
Right here.
You always had a PowerPoint plan.
You always
Remember
had
that?
to-
You know what? He would have made a hell of a president, too. As we saw with Trump. Put a businessman in there.
Yeah. Larry, can I finish?
The best Saturday Night Live.
Remember his
can I
vice
finish?
president? Remember his vice
Yeah, that's
president
what
pick?
Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
Being
Oh, he
George
did a
Bush. No, he was doing Ross Perot.
Points alike.
And
Points
he was
alike.
driving, and they had the Phil Hartman was
monkey or the
being the general.
dog or something,
No,
or-
no. That's Toots' account. Ross Perot was done by Dana Carvey, and he's driving. And this is when the whole thing broke about the vice president who wasn't quite there.
Curtis LeMay or somebody.
Not Curtis LeMay. It was somebody else who was a little out of it.
Nutball general.
Phil
Why am I
Hartman.
here? The guy who kept saying, why am I here? What am I doing
Yeah,
here?
literally, remember he was like, "Oh yeah, that's why. That's why."
Phil Hartman was playing him. And basically, the whole ride is George Bush is trying to push him out of the car, and he's running behind the car.
There were some funny moments back in those, with a couple of those
Yeah,
things.
you're thinking of Toots as the driving
Yeah,
cat.
I was thinking of that too. Yeah, I kind of got him confused. I thought this was fairly interesting, and I wonder how America's doing along with this too. For the first time, less than half of the people in England and Wales consider themselves Christian.
Yeah. And here, too.
But in England and Wales, now we don't have Scotland yet, apparently.
Well, they're more religious
yeah.
up there.
But the plunging number of Christians across a long downward trend across all of Europe. The steepest drop yet, parallel in the surge in number of people telling they have no religion at all. And of course, this is the King Charles is the quote defender of the faith and supreme defender of the governor of the Church of England. There are 26 church bishops who sit in Parliament's House of Lords.
Well, he said, and they reiterated this on the Crown the other day, that his big interview he did, admitted to the affair and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They asked him about being defender of the faith, and he says, "Well, I don't look myself as that anymore. We have, Jews and Muslims and Sikhs and Hindus and everything. It shouldn't just be about one faith anymore." So he doesn't
Here we
have
go.
yeah.
Well, and the other thing is whether he's going to go ecologically nuts, the Green Deal kind of thing that
he's
he was
nuts on
pushing
that,
for a
too.
while. But we'll see where that
When they're all
goes.
freezing this winter, maybe they'll get in their head.
And Europe, oh my God. They can be in some big trouble.
Well, the Biden guy said the other day, the White House spokesman, not the girl, but the guy standing outside, said, "We are phasing out gas and oil.
Yeah.
People are going to freeze."
Yeah. Coming up, you're going to be hearing about another Fargo Christmas debacle, plus the best movie ever. Are we doing a
Yes.
thing on that? Also, you're going to hear, goodbye, you slimy little Twitter users. Please, this time, actually do it. How Apple is helping the commies of China, communist Chinese, and the TikTok influencer chick who says that if you're a person of color and you have a white friend, you should ask permission of other people of color before you ever bring a white friend in their midst. I swear to God, I'm not making that up. But first,
Oh, wait a minute. But before you do that,
Yes.
we have one more listener comment
All
from
right, please do.
Sophia.
Yeah.
Did he
Sophia,
just say
look.
he took a woman to fish? Wow. Wow. The 1950s were weird.
Very funny. Hey, baby, in the 1950s, I missed my chance to have a girlfriend on a bench seat in the car with no seatbelts because they didn't have them. On a bench seat, sit next to me with her arm around my neck while I was driving. And that's all I ever wanted, and I never got it. I never had a girlfriend who did that. And then we got all bucket, and then, stopped having bench seats in the 70s.
Bench seats were great in the back.
Yeah, anyway. So thank you for the memories.
Okay, I just Flounder. Yes. Even with the name Flounder, has it ever occurred to you to bring a date of fish?
No.
No.
Never once.
It was never.
She was
ever.
she was. I knew she was. She wasn't a hippie, but she was a hot redhead. Is what she was. But she was. I knew she was a liberal because it was some kind of liberal cause, and I figured she probably would love a fresh salmon.
Did
a
she
20-pound
love it?
salmon was like $80 or something.
Did she love it?
Yeah, we had some raw salmon right there before we went out on our date. But
Raw
hey, it was for the
salmon.
girls.
Raw salmon. It's like sushi.
It's sushi.
It's delicious.
I
Salmon's
brought her
a-
20 pounds of raw salmon
It's full of
sushi
worms.
fresh off the boat.
It's full of worms.
Did
Oh
it
my
work?
God. Well, I agree with you, but I'm not I don't eat sushi.
I've seen it. When I dated that chick who worked for the seafood place, she took me in the back and showed me
Yeah.
never ever eat dolphin.
Oh,
What
is
they
that
call
big
it,
for
that
worms?
big fish,
Yeah.
dolphin thing.
Yeah.
It's chock full of worms.
Oh boy. Well, they probably get most of them.
They're like this long. It's disgusting.
What mahi's dolphin, right? 'Cause they don't serve dolphin; they serve mahi. Isn't that dolphin?
That's tuna, I thought. Maybe.
Oh, you could be right.
What do you? What? It's a porpoise, but it's that big with the big.
Yeah, yeah. That's the port. That's
with the point on it.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
that called? A dolphin?
I thought that was a dolphin.
But there's another word for a
Porpoise?
marlin. A marlin.
No, a marlin's just freaking swordfish.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, swordfish. That's
Yeah.
it. Don't ever eat swordfish.
swordfish.
That's the
Oh.
one with the worms that
I
are
don't.
this
You know,
long.
my brother used to love swordfish. It's got no taste to me.
All of it sucks.
You can. I mean, it's got no taste, no flavor.
Yeah,
If you grill it, fry it, whatever, just anyway, let it go. All right, hold on. A couple things for one of our longtime friendly sponsors, flagco.com. Flagco.com. I had to take my flag down the other day when it got so windy because I was afraid the wind was just going to be so bad, but of course it's sturdy as heck. And by the way, it still looks beautiful. Bright red, white, and blue on my American flag. I chose the white pole with kind of a silver doodad on the top of it. There's all kinds of ornament hangings and designs and so forth like that. By the way, flagco.com, it's not just American flags. It's every state flag, every military flag. flags around the world, or banners if you're having an open house at a cul-de-sac. You have one of those show and tell banners in this front of it. They can do stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. And they have mounting kits. They can help you make sure you can put it on brick walls, which is very rare. Most folks can't do that at all. They have great lights, beacons in silver and gold, lighting kits, flag ornaments, and a couple of special things in time for Christmas. First of all, the Starry Night flagpole Christmas lights. If you have a 15 to 25-foot flagpole, or they can custom build one if you want, the Starry Night has cool white lights, warm white, red, blue, multicolored. They have a mini version, including a 10-foot pole for a multicolored Starry Night. They also have a special right now on the trailer hitch flagpole trailer hitch kit. They have single or double flag hitch kits as well. And the third specialty in time for Christmas, the 20-foot telescopic pole with a wheelbase, which is perfect for tailgating. It slides under the tire to weigh it down. When the game's over, collapses into a small little thing, take it off, bing, bang, boom, you're all set to go. They're still looking for a couple of workers for the warehouse if you're looking for work. Flagcode.com. Let me give you the phone number. 800-962-0956, and on the web, flagcode.com. Again, please tell them the Kimber sent you. Flagcode.com. These make great Christmas gifts. If you have maybe a newlywed family and they're just starting out in their house and they don't have an American flag to hang up yet, there you are. Or make wonderful Christmas gifts. Anyway, flagcode.com, and thank you for your patronage. We appreciate it. There we go. Excuse me. Back to the actual ball game there. Apparently, Apple. There's a lot of stuff going on with Twitter. I'm not even sure what the latest is. I think Musk is definitely decided he will release the algorithms to show that.
Yeah, and he went and visited Tim Cook at Apple's headquarters or whatever, and gave him a whole tour. And Elon Musk tweeted out it was nothing but a misunderstanding. Apple has no intention to remove Twitter from its platform.
And you know why? Because they removed Parler and they removed Gab. But neither of those guys can make their own phones and cut into your supply, into your little.
Right.
He would have destroyed. He pretty much single-handedly would have just ended Apple.
Yeah.
I don't know. He wouldn't have done that, but he would have put a dent. He would have put a
would've
dent in
hurt
them.
from the cell phones.
Yeah, he would have dented him.
Just the cost of trying to fight. Would have been unbelievable.
He would have sued their ass out of existence, I think is what would have happened.
But Apple apparently has been caught helping the communist Chinese crackdown on protests by eliminating the airdrop. So, and again, there's no freedom in communist China, but with airdrop, they can communicate phone to phone until Apple says they killed it, so they couldn't show the protest for the people. And by the way, what's going on in China is unprecedented, at least since Tiananmen Square. And I think this is even more so because it may not be as violent. We can't tell because we can't see it, obviously.
That's what Fauci wanted from us for the beginning, to do the same thing the Chinese were doing.
You've seen some of the videos on Twitter. They're removing babies from mothers' arms, right? They just walk into their house, test them, and remove them.
If that's not worth killing people in uniform for, I don't know what is.
Yeah. And Babylon Bee got in on this and said...
they have no guns. That's why it's happening.
Yeah. Said Tim Cook says he's ready to pull Twitter from the App Store once President Xi gives the order.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then remember, Tucker was doing a story on that company Balenciaga, which showed teddy bears in bondage and kitty porn and stuff like that. And the Babylon Bee wrote, celebrities are cutting ties with Balenciaga now after My Pillow was spotted in one of the photo shoots. Which would be typical. They don't mind baby bondage, but God forbid you have a My Pillow.
Who put together that ad thing for them is a Satanist, basically.
Yeah,
she does stuff all the time.
There's no other way to explain it. She deliberately left in some words on a pamphlet concerning kitty porn bondage or something. It couldn't have been there by accident in the photo shoot.
Someone let it through.
Did it deliberately to be seen, so they would look for it. And of course, some of the liberals say, well, you got to respect the Babylon Bee for having months to prepare for their return and still having nothing funny to say. And then Larry said, if you've ever wondered what the Onion would be like if it was really freaking stupid people wrote for it, look no further than the Babylon Bee. Although Babylon did have a couple of funny headlines. Now, a new elf on the shelf will scan your social media account to see if you've misgendered anyone. Anti-science right-wingers protest common sense COVID restrictions. So that's not very funny. Progressive family adds new Planned Parenthood location under the Christmas Village. Oh, well. Sorry,
I will say this because I read both of them. The Onion has stepped up its game because it has competition.
I haven't checked them in a while. I got to start
They're
doing
funnier
that
than they used to be.
Well,
they're still ultra liberal, but they're funnier than they used to be.
We'll start looking for them again. Another, I mentioned this. There's a hot Japanese chick. Yeah, I know. Yeah. She's called. Well, if you
that geisha house still haunts me.
My
but
God.
anyway,
TikTok compilations of hot girls, and you'll be looking for a while. This one, I can't remember, and I didn't see her name, I don't think, but she's a TikTok hot Japanese chick, so-called influencer. Yeah. And I saw a video of hers. Probably I should have asked Flounder to try to find it. A video of her, and she actually said to all my friends of color, if you have a white friend, that's okay. If you have a white friend that you talk to and so forth, that's okay. But don't bring your white friend to meet with us and other people of color unless you ask each one of us if it's okay, because a lot of us are just not ready for any more white shenanigans. Unquote. Shenanigans.
We ain't going anywhere, so get used to it. She's
mean,
Japanese.
Yeah.
There was a study out recently, which I think is crazy. A study came out recently saying that they think the Japanese are closer related to Caucasians than they are the Mongoloid race. Yeah, the Asian race. Wouldn't that? So you're Caucasian, bitch. Get over it. They really think we're going away, don't they?
I
got news for you.
I mean, it's like it's amazing.
That's sorry.
And it's all TikTok. Even Janet Yellen has now said TikTok's dangerous. Maybe finally, but again, TikTok has an enormous
TikTok's been dangerous since its inception.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody knew it.
We're handing all our information to the Chinese communists daily.
And it's being run, and it's dangerous because of children who are demanding to stay with it, and parents who are. Can't a parent eliminate any TikTok thing from a computer or a phone?
Well, they could be a parent. That would be nice.
I don't
Start
know
being a parent.
I
Say
can't
no.
believe it. And one other thing, by the way, we were off when this story broke to light. That guy, who is the Department of Energy's nuclear waste removal specialist, and he is into doggy porn and dog collar kink and kitty porn, and he dresses in sometimes like a girl and sometimes like
looks like Moby
knows what. He just got caught, and by the way, it's fine. He also posed with a picture of that tranny admiral. What's his name in his little dress, admiral dress? Oh, Levine. Levine.
The Thing.
Oh my God, the monster. And this guy is in charge of getting rid of nuclear waste, and he's a cross-dresser, tranny, doggy porn. He's not officially gay. He's a fruitcake. And again, don't tell me that that's an offensive word. It has nothing to do with being a homosexual. Okay, I don't care if the guy's gay. If you're gay,
I thought
fine.
he was gay.
But he may be gay, but he's a lot more than gay. I mean, so his gayness is fine. If he's gay, you're gay. But if you're doing this, you're a freaking actor. You're a costume. You're a cosplayer, and you're doing this on purpose. And you don't deserve our respect. Plus, he got caught being a thief and a liar. He was at Houston Airport,
Minneapolis, I thought.
An airport, and he deliberately, under security cameras video, by the way. How could he not know that, incidentally? And he takes a suitcase, he looks at the tag on it, sees it belongs to a woman, rips off the tag, and takes off with it.
Yeah, he wanted the bag.
Yeah, he wanted the bag. He gets home. They finally catch him, but he gets home, he goes through the bag, the police show up because they found out who it was, and he denied that he took it, and then he said, I took it by mistake. And then he said he'd take it back to the thing. And as far as I know, he has not taken anything back. Yeah. He just wanted her clothes and her suitcase.
He not only didn't. What do you call it when you put a bag in? When you bring the bag up and you put it on. What do you call that?
Oh my God!
What do you call that when you bring the flag up, the bag up? Stow it. You check it.
You check the bag.
He didn't check a bag.
Yeah.
He took the bag, someone else's bag, and then he checked it a couple more times on other flights.
Yeah, and then pretended it would look like his.
It was a mistake.
unbelievable. And he
changed the tag on it.
He's been suspended.
But not he won't be
Why
fired.
Is he in jail? And depending on what's in that suitcase, if it's over $180 or something, it's a felony.
I think.
And I'll bet she had jewelry or clothes or something there worth $400. I don't know what the limit
the bag
is depending on the
itself.
state. And the suitcase itself, if it's over a certain, misdemeanor level, I think in most places is $400. If it's over that, you can charge felony. Anyway, nothing's going to happen to him. He's a freak. I don't give a cap whether he's. I don't care if you're gay. I mean, really. Does anybody really care whether somebody else is gay?
No.
Hell, we're in the radio media business. 40% of the people I've worked with for 55 years are gay. I'll bet you. It's. We don't care. We don't really. Most people don't care. But he's a freak. He's a freaking fruit ball.
Super freak.
Speaking of freaks, can we do a comedy thing?
Sure.
You want to do a comedy thing?
That'd be quite a shock to the audience, but okay.
Well,
hold on to your hats.
We got to scoot right along. And I had a whole bunch of really cool crime stuff that I wanted to get to.
We just found out at the World Cup the Moroccan Moles beating the Canadian ice truck jailers 2-1. So.
Oh no! I had money on the Iranian bummers.
Yeah, fuck you, Iran.
Buggers.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, didn't they kill somebody who refused to support Iran or something?
Someone was honking the horn in their car celebrating that USA won, and
they killed him.
They killed him. Some Iranians.
So it wasn't the government; it was just Iranians. And from now on, it's Iran because it pisses them off.
The guy was condemning.
He was lecturing one
basketball player.
Well, no, it was one of our soccer players over there.
Player.
He was lecturing one of our black soccer players.
You said it's not Iran, it's Iran. Yeah. Well, Iran, bomb, Iran. Remember that?
I was said right there. Said, excuse me.
Yeah.
People are literally dying to get into the United States right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are literally dying trying to get out of your country. Yeah. So enough of that. Don't lecture me.
Like, tell me what I can say.
Yeah, you're Iran. Fuck you.
You're the guy who won't let your wife go out alone in the daytime.
Well, that actually makes sense. But
yeah, especially looking the way they look.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, do you see Dave Chappelle from 2 years ago? He's talking about women that you're sending mixed signals to us. He says, women, you're out with your boys in your bar, and this woman walks by, and she's got half her ass hanging out of her skirt and her boobs hanging out and everything.
Hey, baby.
And you go, hey, and you go up and talk to her, and you're staring at her boobs. She goes, whoa, wait a minute here. I may be dressed this way, but that doesn't mean I'm a whore. And he said, well, you know what? But you know what? That's awfully confusing. It's like if I went out on the street dressed as a policeman.
They'd think you were.
And somebody runs up and goes, help me, sir. There's something going on. You got to help us. Oh, my God, people are getting hurt. Can you help us? And I look at him and say, look, just because I'm dressed like a policeman doesn't make me a policeman. So if they're dressed like a whore.
Oh, mercy.
And he goes, listen, ladies, you may not be a whore, but you're wearing the uniform.
You got her clothes. By mistake, apparently. Well, let's do that comic Sam. What's his Sam Marines? What's his name? Do you know Sam somebody? He's a very funny guy. And he's
Sam Morey, Sam Morrell or something like that.
Yeah, Morrill or Morrill or something like that. And this is I forgot exactly, but it's something about comparing. He's comparing a car.
Yeah, he's comparing women looking for sex.
Differences for men and women of looking for sex and having sex and
and parking.
Yeah, here's Sam, a very funny guy. There we go.
I know they look at sex differently. Most women I know they look at sex like buying a car. You're like, can I see myself in this long term? Is it safe? Is it reliable? Could it kill me? Most guys I know they look at sex like parking a car. We're like, there's a spot. Oh, I have to pay? Never mind. Handicapped. Hope no one sees this. I did a Caitlyn Jenner joke on The Late Show with Colbert, and I got a nasty email about it. They're like, you don't get it. You're a straight white man. Caitlyn Jenner's had it hard. Has she? Caitlyn Jenner's never worked a day in her life. She's been coasting off of Bruce's success her entire existence. That guy trained hard every day. Bruce Jenner, American hero. Caitlyn Jenner, gold-digging whore. Most...
Pretty good.
Pretty funny. Excuse me. By the way, tomorrow, again, as it's probably stupid to say this, but as we speak, it's Thursday, the 1st of December, which, again, is amazing to
Rinse
me.
do.
Yeah, and how. And tomorrow, Friday the 2nd, we will be playing the Redneck Christmas.
Yep.
We'll try to do that. And then next week, we'll start playing
The other stuff.
other Christmas stuff.
It's Christmas time.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. We'll play that and we'll have fun. And in fact, if you have any requests, go to, thekimmershow.net. Links you, go to the contacts, whatever you can link
And
stuff.
you can leave a comment there. We'll get an email, or if you just want to email Pete
If you have
Davis,
a request
one
or
at
something you'd
yahoo.com.
like, or
A couple nights ago, I figured it's time to get in the Christmas mood, and the thing that does it for me is the Christmas peanut special.
oh, really?
The Charlie Brown thing. And I sat there and watched that. It's like 20-something minutes, done in 1965. Charles Schultz
I don't think I've seen it since then. I'll
was
betcha.
a genius.
Yeah.
The things that are in
Yeah,
that
he was.
are in that 30 minutes about that will teach you about life and how people act and how they think. He was a freaking genius. It's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. I just sit there amazed. I watch it every year. And every year I see something different in it. How it's
Yeah.
how
Well,
it's amazing.
and it was all whether they were Lucy in the outfield playing baseball, and there would be a moral to the story or a thing. Yeah, I mean it really was unbelievable to use a dog on a doghouse and these characters and Linus and
the inside these
Pigpen and
and the funny thing is she's a psychiatrist. Charlie
Yeah,
Brown goes
5
to her
cents, yeah.
at 5 cents and says the doctor's out, and she flips a sign and it doesn't say the doctor is in. You know what it says?
What?
Because this is 1965. It says the doctor is real in.
oh, real man,
He's
it's
real.
real. oh my God.
And all the people looking at that were born after 1980 are going, what the hell does that mean?
What the hell does that mean? I remember the first time I actually set foot at the intersection of Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco. And
What a dump.
The Tenderloin.
What
Oh,
a
my
dump that
God.
place is. George Harrison said that he was so disappointed in
Yeah.
it. He was just
Well,
horrible
I
people.
mean, everybody heard, Haight-Ashbury and the Tenderloin and that stuff. I actually got hissed in a bar while they were playing Dynasty on TV. Shut up! And I got hissed by the gay crowd because they all showed up to watch Dynasty in this particular place. My bad. I got the hell out of there in a big fat hurry. I can tell you that. Anyway, I may have to save part of this. So we'll save. We got another comic on play too. We'll save those.
this
for
just
tomorrow.
in. The Croatian unibrows have tied the bloody Belgian bastards 0-0.
Oh no!
By the way, yesterday was the date. No, it's actually. Is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow.
what?
Is the date in 1800s of the first international soccer match between Scotland and England.
Really?
A 0-0 tie.
Ah,
Nobody's.
They
Is that
should
not
have known.
perfect?
In fact, I've heard more discussion lately about making the goal wider or using two balls or all the
wait a minute, 2 balls.
Actually, that'd be funny as hell. What I would do, honestly, I would have 2 balls. I would have like a red one and a green one, and they'd both be worth different points. If you got the red one in a goal, it's 2 goals, and if you got the green one, it'd be 1. Oh, you could have all kinds of stuff. Have shit
You'd have
running
to have
all
2
over the place.
goalies.
Huh?
You'd have to have 2 goalies then.
Well, whatever.
It's no
But
fair if you have 2 balls. There's no way you can stop that.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, it just maybe you can't.
You know what how they could fix all this? The offside thing. They took away like 3 goals from Argentina a few days ago. They took a couple off somebody yesterday. Mexico got kicked out because they needed 3 goals, and they had that 3rd goal at least twice, and both times they were an inch offside.
Yeah, that's
okay. To me, offsides is if your entire body is past the next guy.
Yeah, if
that
you're
should
in the
be
other
offside.
zone, yeah.
But it literally, if just your head is past the guy, come on.
That's a little nitpicky.
Yeah, give me more scoring.
Yeah. I got your sports sections, and I noticed something today, which infuriates me because I think LeBron James is.
Oh my God! His latest.
LeBron, have you want to tell the little people?
Why didn't you
about,
ask me about the Jerry?
I honestly, I thought I misread this. Tell the little people that LeBron James now is so freaking full of himself that he's now come out with this little gem after at the end of a news conference, or maybe it was the beginning. At a news conference, he actually go ahead and tell him what.
Well, Jerry Jones, who was it? The Washington Post or somebody did an expose on him and found a photo of him at 15 years old in Little Rock or whatever.
As a teenager.
As a teenager at a school desegregation event. I don't think he's holding a sign. I don't think he's trying to lynch anybody.
It appeared as though he was supporting the National Guard to prevent the black kids from going to school. That's what the picture.
Well, not supporting the National Guard.
No, but
he was against the National Guard.
But he was somehow preventing black kids from going to school, is what LeBron James was saying that the picture indicates.
He's 15 years old.
He was a teenager.
In the 50s.
A bystander going on at the school.
15 years old.
Yeah.
So they try to make a big deal out of it. And frankly, a lot of people came out and said, come on, man, he was 15 years old. Let's don't make a big deal out of this, okay? But they tried to. Yeah. They tried to cancel him from 70 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. So then LeBron James has some press conference at the end of it. Does he come out and say, I can't believe you didn't ask me about that? Well, that first of all, it was a week ago that it was the big controversy. He literally thinks he is the spokesman and king of all black people.
Well, not only that, he had the nerve to say, how dare you not ask me about another racial issue concerning a football owner, as though it had anything to do with anything. Yeah. It's if you have a racial issue and we need to condemn these, you need to come to LeBron to get my opinion on it.
Right.
My God.
I think he's gone a bridge too far with this one because everybody's going, what?
I don't give a crap what LeBron James thinks about anything, let alone Jerry Jones from 1952 or
this
whatever.
This could be a jump the shark moment for King
God.
LeBron. Yeah. When you have even black people going, well, what does that got to do with you?
I'm going to save a bunch of stuff for tomorrow.
Which is why you never bend over. You never apologize. You never bend over to the woke mob.
I know.
You just basically. And Jerry Jones has already said too much about this.
Yeah.
He just say, you know what?
Yeah.
Sue me.
Yeah, I know. I do have a couple of things I want to get to before we boogaloo. A couple of birthdays and then some fairy tales. And also, the best movie thing, I want to get into that before we have to depart the premises here, so I want to motion along. Let's see. Bette Midler is 77 today. I don't know why. I have a negative feeling about her, and I don't know why. Has she done anything stupid or anything? She's a regular person, right?
No. She said shit about Trump and the people who voted for
that's
Trump.
She hates us. In my head, I have that, and I can't think of the specific why I was so angry that in my head I was like, Bette Midler, that bitch. And I can't remember what she did.
She hates us.
Okay, then I was right. I should trust my inner judgment. Actor Treat Williams is 71. He kind of had a couple things and then
he should have been huge, and he wasn't.
I especially after the undercover cop movie, whatever that one was.
Wasn't it Mean Streets? He was in with De Niro or something, and everyone said that he was going to be the star, and it turned out not.
And then he did the other cop movie. It played the undercover guy or the.
And wasn't he also in? He was supposed to be the big star coming out of not the movie that spurned Happy Days.
Oh, Graffiti.
Yeah, American Graffiti.
American Graffiti.
Wasn't he in that? And he wasn't the big star?
I don't think so. I don't remember him in
that.
Maybe. Anyway, Treat Williams is 71. Carol Alt, the former actress and model. And she married the hockey guy? Do we know her for that? I don't know. She's 62. Sarah Silverman. You know, I have mixed things about her. I've laughed out loud at one performance I saw of her on HBO or something, but she is so just kind of icky.
Greasy.
You know, just kind of icky. Sarah Silverman is 52. Janelle Monáe is 37 today. Isn't she somebody's daughter?
Who?
Janelle Monáe.
She's got a pretty face,
she's 37.
But she's got a resting bitch face.
Yeah.
She looks like she'd be a real pill.
Yeah. Zoe Kravitz is 34. She's Lenny and Lisa Bonet's daughter. Zoe Kravitz, 34. Woody Allen made it to 87 without being shot. Charlene Tilton. She was that chubby little Lucy on Dallas. I liked her. A little cute, little chubby little Charlene Tilton.
About her.
64 today. Rick Scott, former governor, now senator of Florida, 69. Lee Trevino is 83. Can I tell my Lee Trevino story? Lee Trevino was out. He living in Texas, and he was out mowing his lawn with his no shirt on, wearing running shorts. His son mowing the lawn, and he was doing a beautiful job at his mansion in Houston, or wherever it was. And a lady in his big old car comes by and rolls down her window, and she said, excuse me, can you tell me how much you charge to do this lawn like that? And he says, well, ma'am, if I do a really good job, the lady of the house lets me sleep with her. And the old lady rolled her window back up and drove off immediately. Of course, he was living there at the time. Anyway,
The Lee Trevino story brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com. Right here in Sonoya, Georgia. They do all our Kimmer Show stuff. Holy crap, it's
I
sports.
ordered a bunch of stuff for Christmas. I'm telling you.
Did
Yes,
you now?
I did.
Excellent, because they do T-shirts, no minimum order, no setup fees, laser engraving. They got fancy laser stuff for cups and signs and tumblers
great
and all
work.
kinds of good stuff. They do great work. Do it. You still got time for Christmas to get your T-shirts in for Christmas.
Farmhouse Printing, and it's shirts, hats, bags. I mean, anything you're looking for, they can put something on there for you. Yeah. John Densmore, the Doors drummer, is 78 today. He allowed the song "Ghost Riders on the Storm" to be used to sell Pirelli tires in the United Kingdom only many years ago. And later he said he heard the voice of Jim Morrison in his ears, so he donated all the money he made to charity.
It was Riders of the Storm, not Ghost
What did I
Riders.
say? I say Ghost Riders?
Yeah, you say Ghost Riders.
Idiot. In 2002, Densmore then vetoed an offer by Cadillac, which wanted to use the song "Break On Through to the Other Side," and was willing to pay $15 million.
Dylan has given the Beatles have given. Come on, man. You're the Doors.
It said Densmore of the Doors vetoed an offer by Cadillac, who wanted to use "Break On Through to the Other Side" and pay $15 million for it, and he said no because Morrison was vehemently opposed to licensing Doors music for commercials.
He's dead.
I'm just telling you what he said
dead.
in 2002. I know, but Morrison was in his head. He felt guilty. He heard the voice of Jim Morrison. I'm telling you, that's why I wrote this, because it's so
But
interesting.
if Dylan and the Beatles can sell it, then
I'm just saying that's what his thing. 1976, one more. Johnny Rotten of the Sex Pistols was on the BBC when he used a very naughty word. Oh, no. The press labeled the band Rotten Punks, and because it stuck, the Sex Pistols became the founding fathers of punk rock.
That was it, huh?
Basically, yeah. In history, 1955, it thought to be the event that really started the nationwide civil rights movement when Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat in the colored section of a Montgomery bus to a white guy. Martin Luther King Jr. led a boycott that lasted more than a year and made the white man cave, basically. 2001, Trans World Airlines flight number 220 lands at St. Louis International Airport and thus ends 76 years of TWA bought by American Airlines. Excuse me. 1835, Hans Christian Andersen published his first book of fairy tales. He was famous for The Emperor's New Clothes, Princess and the Pea, The Little Mermaid, Thumbelina. And some of his other stories were sort of bastardized by others, including the one version of Cinderella and the Brothers Grimm. Cinderella's eldest sister, in an attempt to fit into the glass slipper, which in her case was golden in their version, cuts off her toes. The second sister cuts off her heel to fit into Cinderella's slipper. In both cases, two doves sent by Cinderella's dead mother alert the prince of the sister's blood in the slippers. Cinderella was found to be the true owner of the slipper, and during her wedding to the prince, the doves return and poke her sister's eyes out. Snow White, the Brothers Grimm tale, paints a much darker story, with the evil queen ordering the huntsman to take Snow White into the woods, kill her, and bring her back her liver and lungs for the queen to eat. Later in the story, the prince and Snow White are getting married and invite all royalty in the land. The evil queen shows up, unknowing it was her stepdaughter's wedding. When she arrives, she's forced to step into burning hot iron shoes brought from the fireplace and dance until she dies in a hell of a tango. And one more quickie here. In the Carlo Collodi's original version of Pinocchio, once Geppetto carves Pinocchio, the marionette runs away. He's caught by the police, who assume that Geppetto has been abusing him, so they put Geppetto in prison. Pinocchio goes back to Geppetto's house that night and accidentally kills the wise talking cricket. He later gets hung from a tree and suffocates.
That's not in the movie.
These are not very nice.
Not in the movie at all.
And one last one. The Brothers Grimm Rapunzel. Rapunzel, let down your hair, is still a beautiful girl with long hair trapped in a tower by an evil witch. In their version, the witch finds the prince has been visiting Rapunzel on the side and knocks her up. So the witch cuts off Rapunzel's hair and banishes her to the wilderness. The prince returns that night and crawls up the hair, only to find the evil witch at the end of it. She pushes him off the tower into thorn bushes, which break his fall, but stab out his eyes. These are just some of the glorious fairy tales available to you now on the internet. A couple of quick things. 1969, Uncle Sam started his first military draft lottery since the end of World War II. 1991, this is Ukrainian Independence Day, independence from Russia. 2012, Kansas City Chief linebacker Jovan Belcher got into an argument with his girlfriend Cassandra Perkinson at their home and shot and killed her. Then he drove to the Kansas City Chiefs practice facility. I had forgotten this until I read it this morning. Thanked the general manager and the coach, and then shot himself in front of them. And one more. Pete, this is for you. 2014. AMC issued an apology for a social media screw-up. AMC had posted a major spoiler alert on Facebook the night before after the Walking Dead mid-season finale. And they revealed the death of a main character, which I shall reveal now what they did. Spoiler alert. AMC showed a picture of Daryl carrying a body with a caption, R.I.P. Beth.
Wow.
And that was to their
that was pretty
chagrin. That was pretty bad. Anyway, that's all. Now it's just about the best movie action here. And Fargo, what happened at Fargo?
I watched a trailer yesterday. Well, I thought it was a joke, but it's an actual movie. And Flounder says it's based on a true story. It's called Cocaine Bear.
Oh, you showed me. I saw the trailer.
Did you watch
it's
the trailer?
hysterical. And now it's in the news. They did a story on it because it's a real story.
I'm going to see it the first day it comes out. It looks, it's about a plane dropped some bags of cocaine over Knoxville.
Yeah.
70 pounds.
70 pounds.
And the bear ate it.
A bear gets into it. And the movie, you think at first it's going to be, they're doing one of those horror movies. Yeah. No. It's
Snakes on airplanes, hold my beer.
It's a comedy. The trailer is hysterical.
I mean, possibly the best film title ever. Cocaine Bear.
It's what put the little kids up the tree. Goes, Man, you said bears couldn't climb trees. Here comes the bear.
But it also looked like they had using a real bear for parts of it.
That I don't know, but there's an actual there's an exhibit. I forget if it happened here.
And here in Atlanta?
It's not here. It's somewhere in Georgia.
No,
I think
thought it was Knoxville.
But I think that's where the bear is.
Okay.
They have it on display. You can go see it.
He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah.
Oh, they don't kill the bear in the end, do they?
That I don't know. But I mean, can you imagine the last 40 seconds of that bear's life? His heart had to fucking explode.
Jeez.
If the cocaine, I don't know what happened. I won't spoil. I don't know what happened to the bear. But I wonder if the cocaine killed him. Is that what they're thinking?
Because he ingested
They probably had to shoot him to
Yeah,
stop
he
it.
probably- Again, it's a true story.
70 pounds of cocaine. He had a heart attack.
So you could, if you want to find out, you can Google it.
just
obviously.
Google
cocaine bear.
cocaine bear.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that trailer is the
hysterical.
funniest damn trailer I think I've ever seen.
It was funny. The bears can climb trees. Joink.
On cocaine, they can.
Oh, man.
And
he's on his back, right here.
They're in the ambulance trying to get away, and the back doors of the ambulance are open, and the lady in the gurney's shooting at the bear as he's chasing the ambulance.
Oh, man.
All right, wait a minute.
That looks
all
funny.
right, okay, this is sad. We all seen Fargo the movie.
Yeah.
What is the key scene that you remember from that movie? There's so many, but the key scene we always laugh
the
about.
wood chopper.
The wood chopper. Okay.
I disagree. The police were
when
worked
Matt
there, Lou.
Marge walks around the side, and the big Viking guy is
He's
shoving
trying to shove the foot
Steve
in with a
Buscemi.
stick or something.
Yeah. Here's the headline of the year from People Magazine so far. Tree trimmer dies after falling into wood chipper across from Kentucky Christmas light display. They told everybody to stay home last night and don't come by and watch it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be bad.
It's pretty bad. All right. Sean Ono Lennon.
What now?
Sean Ono Lennon.
I don't know what that is.
John Lennon's son with Yoko.
Oh, okay.
All right. He tweeted this. A friend of mine who's also half Japanese, half Caucasian came up with the perfect term for people like us. I've always disliked the sound of happa. I didn't know they were called happas. Yeah, it's stupid.
For half Japanese, half white? Is that
Yeah,
what
that's pretty stupid. He says, I much prefer the new one, rice cracker.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be offensive in any way.
Joe says, maybe someday transgender people in America will have as many rights as guns do.
Oh, for God's sakes. You have every right we have, you
So
squirt.
Dr. Blast Hard Cheese responded, I cannot saw the barrel off my gun.
You saw the barrel off of your...
The Egyptians are wanting the Rosetta Stone back. Should Britain give it back to them?
Oh, well, now, wait a minute. Didn't we steal it fair and square?
Well, it wasn't us. It was
Well,
Napoleon
the Brits?
stole it. Napoleon took it.
Is that who it
was?
was?
The
I've
French.
forgotten.
And somehow the British got it. Maybe it's in Paris.
But how did he come by it, though? I don't remember at all.
When he invaded Egypt, because he wanted to be the Roman Empire, he
Yeah.
wanted to take all of it. He was huge on that and brought French scientists and archaeologists who were digging, because Egypt was huge back in those days, all over Europe. And they were digging around and they found that. And they took a bunch of stuff back to Paris. That because he was a huge Egyptologist or whatever.
So where is it now? Is it in...
It's either London or Paris, and the Egyptians want it back. So Carl Benjamin says, my general view on the return of historical artifacts is that if we had to dig it out of the ground, you didn't really care about it in the first place.
Well, I mean, what is finders keepers after 200 years or something, too? You know, I mean...
All right, you got to keep it short, but you can do this because we've got 10 minutes left.
All right.
Before we do Bad Text Theater.
Yeah.
Wade, and thank you to everybody who's gone on Venmo for us and PayPal and
God
Patreon.
bless
Thank you very much.
We really, really need it. I
Wade
promise
has
you.
put $5 on there,
All right.
and he says, okay, you now have $5 in your Venmo account. It's Fran Tarkenton story time. So we have a request.
Oh, in fact, well, I do. In fact, did we get another one too? Somebody else sent us a couple others sent us some money here, and I want to mention them too. And I was very.
Yeah, we thank everybody.
But anyway, the Fran Tarkenton story. Okay, many years ago, my final wife and I, back when I actually was sort of partly popular, and she was a knockout, and we lived in Brookhaven, and we used to get invited to stuff. And in fact, we got invited by somebody in the area to a dinner as their guests at the town. What's the town club? What's it called? Not the Red.
Atlanta Country Club?
No, the town club.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, whatever. And which is part of the golf club. They have their own golf country club too. It's my mind's gone. Anyway, and the guy hosting the dinner was a fellow who was a Civil War historian and author, and very famous local guy. I can't remember his name now. Mm-hmm. And we had that dinner. We had a very nice dinner, and they served. At the end of it, I made fun of this at the end. At the end of the dinner, he brought out the Stilson and what's that kind of heavy wine you get with it? What's that? Stilson and Stilton. That's that horrible cheese.
I love
it. And what's the wine that it come with? Port and Stilton.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it was horrible. Ugly, just bitter and nasty.
I'm gonna go get some right now.
God, disgusting. But during the meal, among other things, they served some white wine, and I'm not a particular wine drinker, but this white wine was delicious. It was cold and crisp, had a real good flavor to it, but it was crispy. It wasn't heavy and syrupy. It was crisp and light, and it was great. It was very tasty. And so I asked the waiter about it, or the guy, as I remarked about it, and he gave me the label so I would know what it was. So that next day, I went to a local liquor store up in Brookhaven, and I went to the guy, and I said, I want to buy a case of this and surprise my wife.
Riesling, is that it?
No.
Okay.
Rombauer. Rombauer.
But it's a Riesling. The
It's
wine.
a white wine. I'm not even sure.
Probably
to be honest with
Johannesburg
you.
Riesling type.
But
Okay,
it was delicious. And so I said I want to buy a case of this to surprise my final wife. Mm-hmm. And at the time, as I recall, it was something like about $30 a bottle, which to me was a lot of money this is like 30 years ago. It's in the 1998 or something or whatever. And that to me was a lot of money to spend for one bottle of wine. I bought a whole case of it to surprise her. Okay, so he said, I'll be here in 3 days or whatever. So I came back in 3 days. I said, here, pick up my wine. He said, oh.
About that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I said, what do you mean you're so sorry? So, well, earlier today, Fran Tarkenton, who lives in the area, was in, and he saw the case of Rombauer, and he said, that's my favorite wine. And so I sold it to Fran Tarkenton. I said, wait a minute. You gave Fran Tarkenton my wine that I ordered special for this thing? And so from then on, and I've got a bottle of it I've had in my refrigerator for a year that I've just to keep reminding me. And so from then on, I've been just saying that Fran Tarkenton stole my wine because he's a big-time celebrity and I'm just little old nobody. And the guy gave him my case of wine. I had to order another one. Okay? So.
You should have looked him right in the eyes and said, who?
Yeah, I know.
And how does this affect me,
yeah.
Kim
What's that
Peterson?
got to do with the Kimmer? Don't you know who I am? That's what I should have said.
He should have given you a discount on another
yeah,
box.
that'll be the day. Anyway, that's
that's bad business.
Yeah, it is bad business.
Because if he did, okay, fine, giving it to Fran Tarkenton, he should immediately ordered you another one.
Right? Yeah. You would have thought, and I wasn't that. I mean,
Where is this place?
It was the liquor store in the little strip shopping center as you're going north into Brookhaven. There's a bank on the corner and a little strip store
on Peachtree.
On Peachtree Road,
on left or right?
Dresden. You know where Dresden is? If you're going north, it's on before you get to Dresden. There's a little shopping center on the right.
On the right.
And there was a liquor store and I think a Subway shop.
There's
maybe
Starbucks there too.
There's a pizza joint. There's a Jersey Mike's there. There's a Kroger.
Yeah,
maybe.
I know where that is.
I know exactly where that is. I used to live right by there.
1998 or something. So
let's picket the place.
May not even be there right now.
We demand our Riesling.
That was 25 years ago. But anyway, so that's my Fran Tarkenton story. Yeah. And I don't know whether you ever found out. And someone told me that I think he told him that story once. That he met Fran Tarkenton someplace and relayed the story.
If I ever see him again, I'll tell him.
Yeah,
I'll definitely
I think
tell
somebody actually did relate. I think someone told me that they
By the way, anybody, if you want to go on Venmo and send some money, you can demand any story you want, and he'll tell it.
A request, we'll do it. And again,
we'll develop tiers. So if you want this one story, you have to donate 20.
Yeah.
What am I bid?
If you're on the top gold tier,
Kimmer
will come tell you the story at your house.
That or he'll put together a Johnny Midnight.
Denise,
what is it, $100, you think?
We have, again, Donnie said, don't ever play regular Edmund Fitzgerald again. Denise has sent us 2 different Venmos. Judy sent us a very large donation. Denise again. Wade sent us $5 and said for the Fran Tarkenton story. That's what the latest one we just did.
Couple things here. Mark says, and I'd forgotten this, but I noticed it myself looking at the trailer. Ray Liotta's in that movie.
That was his last movie.
Oh my God, really?
Can you imagine that being? You go on IMDb, the last credit is Cocaine Bear.
And Ray Liotta's in Cocaine Bear. Oh my God.
Didn't you see him? Watch it again. You can see him. He's in it. And some prayers out to Luis. He said his doggy has had some seizures. They have him on the meds. And he's not the same, so he could use some prayers for his little doggy there.
Well, what's his doggy's name?
I don't know what the doggy's name is.
And who? Luis?
Luis. He's a Mets fan, but pray for the doggy anyway.
No, we will offer our prayers for your little one. I promise you.
Oh, he calls into Extra all the time. He was at the Governor's Gun Club when you had the event with Boards.
You met
Luis. Who it is. I know who Luis is.
Really cool guy.
Absolutely. You want to save the movie thing for tomorrow?
What movie thing?
You were going to? Do we just do the?
We just did the movie thing, the Cocaine Bear.
I thought maybe you were going to have us.
See, the show started at when did they?
We started at 2:30.
Okay.
So it's been an hour and a half.
By the way, $100. Would you come to their house for $100? What would it take for you to come to their house and actually
do what?
And tell the story.
Well, a 2-minute story. Nobody,
how much?
I think that's
kind of story. We gotta get some money here. Come on.
Well, you'd have to show up with me.
We're gonna whore you out.
It isn't worth the money.
For $500, we'll both show up.
There you go. To do what?
Tell a story.
Oh my God.
No. We'll just tell a story and leave.
Yeah. Tell a story and leave. Sure. Absolutely.
And that's the story. Thank you.
$500. We'll tell a story and leave. Now you have Denise, who lives in Greenville, South Carolina.
Yeah,
no,
oh
no,
my
no, no,
God,
no.
yeah.
We're not driving to Greenville, South Carolina. We're going to put it.
There's a mile radius.
There's a 20-mile radius.
Yeah, there's somewhere in the area. You know.
Ball ground to the north.
Yeah.
Lawrenceville to the
Kansas
east.
fine. You know,
Dallas to the west. And nothing on the south side. Noonan on the south side.
yeah, there you go.
Time for Bad Text Theater.
Bad Text Theater.
All right, it's a first guy and it's a second guy.
All right.
Are you the first guy or the second guy?
I'll be the second guy.
Second guy. All right, I'm the first guy, so I will start. Did you hear about the contortionist who tried to fit into a colander?
No, what happened?
He strained himself.
Strained a colander, ladies and gentlemen.
Strained
Cat
himself.
almost made it outside.
What
didn't
the
Yeah.
heck? He trying to escape?
He is that's a
he's up in
shouty
the
cat,
blind.
by the way. He was talking for the whole first half of the show.
I
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah.
And looking right at you, talking to you about something. He wanted
Kitty
something.
cat.
He wanted to be held or petted or something.
He's a great addition. I'm glad you have him.
We'll see how his attitude changes after tomorrow.
Yeah,
he's-
tomorrow, kitty cat. Sorry, good buddy.
He's going to be shouting at you
You're
for that.
gonna have a little thing going on
That
there.
poor
Well,
kid.
we'll wish him the best, and we'll see him tomorrow. Oh, he'll still be in the vets tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I've got to pick him up tomorrow afternoon / evening.
Well, boys, tomorrow we don't know what time. Probably earlier than normal.
Yeah, probably like 11:30ish. We'll see.
Eastern time as we speak. Anyway, final thoughts. It was hell of a see in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
All right, hoorah, Summer
already
Fly.
tired
Gotta
of
go.
you.
You're killing me. There, hoop, look out. Here we go.